everybody, Melissa Sorrentino here. Want to talk today about something that I recognized I'm doing, and now that I see it, it's not going to take me down. It's this: isolation. I isolate, and sometimes it's by design, but sometimes it is not by design. And I recognize that I started to isolate lately. Just the last couple of days, it's transitioned from intentional solitude to isolation. And now that I recognize it, I wish to head it off at the past and to share it with you guys because I see this. I think I've been living my life more mindfully and more intentionally. So I'm starting to see I have habituated some bullshit. Probably coping mechanisms, probably from childhood, all that stupid crap. And I take it lightly like this because, oh my God, I used to take it so seriously. What the fuck good did that do? Seriously. What good did it do? Crying and holding my Kleenex box and, oh God, I'm so depressed, there's something wrong with me. There's something so wrong with me. No, I actually put this out here because I thought I might cry. I could cry. It's potential. But here's the difference now. I am seeing that it's not weird. There's nothing wrong with me. It is absolutely natural and normal for us all to experience emotions. Yeah, it's okay. And I think I don't want to go too personal into my family life because this is public, but I could say this fairly. I grew up in an environment where I was kind of conditioned not to show emotion. There was kind of like one person in the house that was able to show emotions, and the rest of us, there wasn't really room for that because this... the emotions were very much always sort of like this giant searchlight spotlight was always on one person who was going through a lot of stuff all the time. And it just didn't seem right for, to be that way. I didn't want to model myself as that way. I thought that meant that I had some sort of mental illness. And the fact is, there is a reasonable balance between the two. So as soon as I reached a point in my grown-up life when I started to display emotions openly, particularly in front of someone else who happened to be my husband, I thought, okay, I'm crazy. There's something wrong with me. I can't do this. Da, da, da. So as soon as you apply all that extra anxiety on top of the emotion that you're already feeling, now the anxiety starts to take over, and that is like even more weight, and it's just like coming down, this sense of like there's something wrong with me, I need to do something. Then now you've got the anxiety of some sort of like, I need to hurry and do something, I've got to fix this, and it's just like this is my experience. I know I'm not the only one, you guys. I know it. So anyone else that feels that way, you've got a friend in me because I feel you. Life is not, coasting, lovely, lilty little ride through, rose bushes and sunshine every single day. We have ups, we have downs. So anyway, the solitude and the isolation thing. I see that I purposely create some solitude, some space to recharge because I did a lot of socializing through December, and I also did a lot of work and a lot of, just like I wore myself out a lot. So I was like, okay, it's reasonable. Then you get the New Year's, we all have Christmas and we've got all that stuff going on. And then there's New Year's, and New Year's is like another time for a break. It's almost hard for me to even relate to what it used to be like for me when I had like a bigger family and I did actually have more to do. So now I feel like I'm being like super lazy. But I did go out and I did schedule a lot of things for myself, and I did go through some emotional stuff that I shared with you guys through December. So, I was like, oh, okay, it's New Year's, I'll chill. I had a very chill New Year's. I stayed by myself. I stayed up till midnight, and I just was like, hey, Happy New Year, me. But, I just watched a movie, had some nice hors d'oeuvres for myself, really had like a little like me day, which is important to me. So that I don't become too reliant on dates with other people. I schedule little dates with myself, and I really like get all, I get like romantic with myself. I light myself a candle, and I pour myself beverages and some stemware, and I use all my pretty dishes and make a nice plates of appetizers. And I had a lovely time, and I watched It's a Wonderful Life, which I hadn't watched on Christmas, so which is kind of my tradition. So I watched that, and I just really indulged, and it was lovely. Honestly, that night, probably was enough solitude for me. But then I woke up the next day, January 2nd, I was like, time to get on a grind. But I don't really have a specific grind. I have something in my head. I have a few things floating in my head. I'm not sure which of those, balloon strings I'm going to yank and pull down and start actually like working on. But that's part of it. So what happened to me, and I'm saying it happened to me, even though it was me doing it, but it's because something in my subconscious took me over. My consciousness sort of fogged over, and my subconscious took over some like deep rooted, probably early childhood like mechanism that put me in like a numb place. So I was like, I did a load of laundry, I did some dishes, I just kind of like zoned out. I went way too far down the Facebook rabbit hole, way too far down the like current events rabbit hole. Got myself all stressed over some news stuff. And then I got myself all like, what's the word? There's a word, ashamed, because I am not very political, and I haven't been keeping up with things very well. And also because I just have a lot of self-judgment in that area, because politics is just not really my bag. I kind of suck at following it. No sooner do I feel like I know what's going on, current events in the world, and then all of a sudden, like more shit's happened, and I was like, oh crap, I'm not really that good at it. I could go into that deeper, but I'm going to be very safe and not do that right now because I don't want to go on for too long. But anyway, the point being, my solitude that was intentional recharge time sort of just morphed, just sort of like very slowly boiled into like, just a little bit of numbness. And cut to now, it is January 7th, and I really haven't gone out or done anything. Well, that's not true. I did go out to dinner with a lovely friend of mine. Hi, Sue Ellen. And I guess I went out and did a couple, like I ran some errands, and I did go grocery shopping. But, I haven't socialized. I almost did 3 things. Each of them I kind of chose not to do because I kept thinking I need to stay home and like be productive. I need to get that, that grind. I need to figure out which of these, like I said, the balloon strings to yank down and start working on. And thank goodness I kept doing these videos, because I think this is partly my saving grace, that it's giving me some sense of structure and some sense of like outreach. But it's not time for me to isolate. I actually don't think isolation is probably very wise unless you're in a period of like deep, deep soul searching. And, then you lock yourself in your room and you read War and Peace cover to cover, or the Bible or something. Or, you go like Dave Chappelle and you go to Africa for a couple of weeks and you get yourself grounded somehow. I am grounded. So I don't need to do that. What I need to do is start taking an action. But prior to taking an action, I need to make a decision. If it was an improv scene, I would just make a choice and go with it because I would know it was disposable. But I don't feel that my life is that disposable. Maybe I should. maybe that is what I should do. But nonetheless, recognizing that isolation is hiding in fear, whereas solitude is intentionally choosing to take some alone time. Knowing the difference between those two and calling my own ass out on it is hopefully going to help drag me out of this mire and be like, save myself from the quicksand of isolation. That's all I have to say, because I don't know where it's going to lead. So I'll check in with you guys later, see how that goes. If anybody else is going through this too, I know you're alone, but you're not alone. You're not alone in your aloneness. There are other people that are also co-alone. And I hope that this me is reaching out to you, whoever you might be, co-alone with me today. Let's just pinky hold hands for a sec. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.